Hey, what's up guys, Futin here. In today's video, I'll be talking about how to switch from controller to keyboard and mouse fast in Chapter 5 of Fortnite. I've gotten asked this a lot recently, so I figured I would make a video about it. Before I get into it, thank you everyone for all the recent support on my Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok. And if you don't follow all those yet, the links will be in the description below. Thank you. So, the first thing I want to talk about is the initial adjustment of switching. At first, it'll feel clunky and awkward for a few days and weeks, but with everything, this is just part of the process. In order to actually make the switch, you must push through this awkward phase. It is sort of like getting a short haircut, and then the first few weeks it looks bad, but then it all comes together by week 3 or 4 or so. So continuing with that, when you first switch, you have to accept being uncomfortable. It will feel weird using a keyboard and mouse rather than a controller, and your fingers and brain will have to adapt to this new input. Start out by taking it slow and just hopping into a blank creative map. Here, you will get used to the feeling and basic movement of keyboard and mouse. After a while, once you start to feel somewhat more comfortable, you can hop into some creative maps. I recommend you do some basic aiming and editing maps, as this will help you further get used to the feeling of playing on keyboard and mouse. Understand that you will be bad, and accept that. I will leave a few maps in the description that I recommend. Also, don't attempt to do any advanced piece control and editing maps, as you will not be able to do them whatsoever initially, and would just get down on yourself and want to give up. However, in order to actually do all this, you first need to get the most optimal keybinds possible. So, what are keybinds? Keybinds are essentially just the things that you have set for each key. For example, your movement keybinds are WASD. In order to get the most optimal keybinds possible, you must have it so your building and weapon binds are perfect. By perfect, I mean the majority of your keybinds all correlate to a different finger. This is so you can utilize each finger to hit your keys quicker, rather than using the same finger to hit all your keys. In order to achieve optimal building binds, I recommend to get a mouse that has 2 side buttons. For your top side button, you can make it wall, and your bottom side button, you can make it stair, or vice versa for these. It truly is just preference. Then, for your floor and cone, I recommend 2 keys on your keyboard that are hit with different fingers. In my case, I use C for floor and Q for cone. This is because I hit C with my index finger and Q with my ring finger. This allows me to press both keys very fast as they are on different fingers. Other keys you could use are E, F, V, Z, and X, but it's truly just up to you. Also, a big thing about optimal binds is that they allow you to keep your other fingers on WSD at all times. So, if you had all your keybinds on one finger, for example, all your keybinds were on your index finger, then you'd be taking your finger off D for a long time and your movement would be not great whatsoever. This is because you use your index finger for D for your WASD movement. Now that you have your build binds, let's get into weapon keybinds. So, here's where I disagree with optimal binds a bit. As previously mentioned, I said that optimal keybinds would mean that you have each keybind on a different finger. However, for my weapons, I use majority of my number keys. I have pickaxe on 1, AR on 2, shotgun on 3, utility or sniper on 4, and heals on X/Z. Yes, it would probably be more beneficial if you could make each weapon and pickaxe slot on a different finger. But in reality, that is not completely possible without using keys that would be important for other keybinds, such as editing, crouching, and so on. So, if you want to sacrifice some optimality in your weapon binds, I can promise you that you will not be disappointed as the rest of your keybinds will be amazing. Also, majority of pros use their number slots for their weapon keybinds, and they have no problems whatsoever. It may just take some time to get used to them, but that is okay and as expected. Now that you have your building and weapon keybinds established, let's get into editing. For editing, I use F. This is a great keybind as it is very close to where your fingers rest on WASD, and you can hit it very fast repeatedly. Other common edit binds are E, C, V, and G. Another thing very important in editing is for your reset edit, make it so that it is your scroll wheel up or scroll wheel down as one of your keybinds. And then for the second keybind, for reset edit, make it your building edit bind, so whatever keybind you chose for your edit. This will allow you to have scroll wheel reset, which is a main reason why people switch to keyboard and mouse, as it is very OP. The next keybind I want to go over is crouching. Crouching is a keybind that is very important. By default, crouch is on left control, I'm pretty sure. If you like it there, then great, but for majority of people they don't, as it is way too awkward and far to hit. So in order to fix this, I simply just move my crouch button to left shift, as this is above left control. It is very easy to hit as your pinky simply rests on it, so you can hit it whenever. Another popular keybind for crouch is C, and that is very good as well, but pick whatever is comfortable for you. The rest of your keybinds then simply come down to whatever you want them to be. There is no set rules that you should follow for the rest of your keybinds, so play around with them and see what you like. Everyone will have different keybinds by a bit, and that is very understandable, as everyone is a different person with different comfortabilities and likings. The next thing you need to worry about is sensitivity. Sensitivity is pretty easy to figure out. Pick a sensitivity that you think is not too fast or too slow. I recommend keeping your DPI at 800 and picking a sends between 5.0 and 10.0. For example, I use 6.4 and then 800 DPI. Pros like Peterbot also use 800 DPI and 6.4, Bluga uses 800 DPI, 5.8, Kanata uses 800 DPI and 8.0. So in reality, it all comes down to preference. For the aiming down sights and scope sensitivity, I would keep it somewhere around 50, and you can go up and down from there based off whatever you like. Most pros use anywhere from 35 to 60 to 5 for both these sensitivities. Also, the next thing is very important. Do not change your building and editing sends. On controller, this is a very popular thing, but on keyboard and mouse, it will completely mess with your ability to control your mouse. It will not be good for you in the long run with your aim and such. I hope this video helped you guys switch from controller to keyboard and mouse, and if you have any questions, leave them down below. I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you. Also, if you guys are new, make sure that you don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks.